Welcome to the Literacy Learning Spotlight, presented to you by the Literacy Unit in the Office of Educational Supports at the Michigan Department of Education. The purpose of today's Literacy Learning Spotlight is to provide a comparison of the Section 35M grant and Public Act 146 of 2024. Since the passing of Public Act 146 of 2024 and the announcement of Section 35M, the per pupil literacy funding, there has been some confusion about the difference between the two. On this slide, we will compare funding, the requirement to create a committee, and assessments. Section 35M is an $87 million per pupil formula grant. Public Act 146 is one of the K-12 literacy and dyslexia laws. There is no funding directly associated with PA 146. Section 35M required the Michigan Department of Education to create the Committee for Literacy Achievement. The CLA critically evaluated literacy series and materials, literacy professional development, and literacy tools or services. The Committee for Literacy Achievement is also required to create and maintain a rankings list for all literacy items the committee has evaluated. Public Act 146 of 2024 does not require MDE to create a committee to support its implementation. Moving on to assessments. Section 35M does not specify a grade tier list for assessments. However, Public Act 146 of 2024 requires MDE to provide a list of approved, valid, and reliable screening and progress monitoring reading assessments for selection and use by school districts and public school academies. On this slide, we will compare professional development and curriculum. Section 35M requires the Committee for Literacy Achievement, in collaboration with the Michigan Department of Education, to create and maintain a rankings list of professional development resources. PA 146 requires MDE to develop a literacy coaching model that includes grades 4 through 12. A list of professional development resources is not required. Curriculum. Section 35M requires the CLA, in collaboration with MDE, to create and maintain a rankings list of all early literacy series submitted for a review. Public Act 146 requires MDE to publish a list of evidence-based Tier 1 class-wide reading curricula and materials that are aligned with the science of reading. Now that we have compared the requirements list, I will share the requirements in law for the completion of the list and when MDE will publish the list, and the requirements by law for compliance. The rankings list for literacy items that were evaluated by the Committee for Literacy Achievement and eligible for districts to purchase with Section 35M funds will be published in June of 2025. The MDE is required to publish the approved assessment list and the Tier 1 early literacy curriculum list by January of 2026. The next comparison is very important. Section 35M is not required by law. Districts and LEAs are not required to purchase items from the rankings list. Section 35M is a grant for which LEAs may apply. Unlike Section 35M, PA 146 of 2024 has several requirements that LEAs must follow. On our final comparison slide, we will discuss the science of reading. Section 35M does not mention the science of reading. The term research-based outcomes and the phrase likelihood to increase student literacy outcomes are mentioned in the slides as the overall criteria for evaluation of literacy series and materials, tools or services, and professional development. Science of reading is defined in PA 146 as a cumulative and evolving body of evidence whose research studies follow a scientific process of inquiry and utilize scientific methods to help answer questions related to reading development and issues related to the reading and writing derived from research from multiple fields of cognitive, psychology, communication sciences, developmental psychology, education, special education, implementation science, linguistics, and neuroscience. MDE is using the science of reading and evidence-based definitions from PA 146 of 2024. PA 146 of 2024 evidence-based definition aligns with the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, Tiers of Evidence from the United States Department of Education. Thank you for viewing our Literacy Learning Spotlight on comparing the sections of 35M per pupil literacy grant and Public Act 146 of 2024, one of our K-12 literacy and dyslexia laws. The Michigan Department of Education appreciates all that you do. On behalf of Dr. Michael Rice and all of us here at MDE, thank you. For additional information, please contact us at mde-earlyliteracy@michigan.gov.